Okay, so I've got us back into the grid. We've got the Anker Solix are 59%. Both of them were pulling 952 watts. I'm going to go ahead and switch us over on the house. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the load off of the panel for the Anker Solix, so that won't be there. And then I'm going to simulate a power outage. So what I'm going to do is turn off this light, do the interlock, and bring it up. You see the lights go off and come back on again. Right now, the battery is feeding the house, as you can see here in the old Anker Solix, because I just kicked the breaker. So everything that's in the backup breaker is now running from the batteries. And when I kick off the main power, the lights will come off and then come back on again. That's the generator light ahead of over my head. Okay, so here we are. Now we're running on generator. We've got everything in this panel is now being fed by the generator. Everything up in this panel is being still fed by the battery system. But when I turn on this breaker to put the load back on the generator with the Anker Solix, it should start charging the batteries. So I did that. Just got to notice that I had a power outage because obviously I kicked the power outage. And now if you watch here, it'll take a minute, but these are starting to already, they're going to start pulling power in just a minute. They're both letting out about 410 watts, but you'll start seeing us charge here in a minute. Once it figures out what's going on, it will see the generator as grid power though. Okay, power's been restored, but that's just because I'm running on generator right now. Okay, you heard that click. So now the system is pulling from the grid, although it doesn't show up from the grid, but it does start charging the Anker Solixes. So you'll start seeing we've got 2.4 hours left of charging, 0.9 hours there. So we're bringing in 1900 watts on each. So that's the Westinghouse generator that is feeding this. So I am charging the batteries. So that there is power coming in. You kind of lose the image of it here on the screen, but you can see it's pulling 4.64, which is both the 4.64 kilowatts, which is both the power usage in the house as well as the batteries being recharged on both the Anker Solix. So at this rate, from 60%, I'm about 0.9 hours, so a little less than an hour, I'll be able to have both these batteries fully charged from 60%. So if I ran, obviously, if I was down at 20%, it would go much further. But this just proves that with a good generator, you are able to charge the Anker Solix F3800s through the home power panel, and it runs. So I would be able to sustain multiple days outage, even without solar. I would be able to sustain multiple day outage because I've got the generator that can charge the system. So I know a lot of people have been asking about it on Reddit and other places, so I figured I would do a video because that might be the quickest way to walk through it all. But again, I've got a Shelly, it's a mini relay switch that gives me the ability with a dry contact to start the generator. And that is something I'm working on, trying to make it so that I don't even have to come down here and flip this switch. I'm hoping Anker does something with these panels here for a DC charge. That would give me the direct contact. I could come off of the generator with some kind of charger. I've thought about doing the Chargeverter and coming into the solar lines, but I've got to do something that keeps me from having to even kick this over, because most of the stuff that's on here I don't necessarily need. The washer, the dryer, the oven. There's most of those things I don't actually even need when we're in a power outage situation. So all in process, but just wanted to share what I've learned so far. Thanks so much.